Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. So in today's video, as you saw in the title, we are going to be doing a full face of Believe Beauty. I think there are only maybe two products, which was my under eye setting powder and my setting spray, that was not Believe Beauty, and it was only because I used up my Believe Beauty setting spray already and usually use a different brightening under powder for my under eyes anyways. But the rest of my face is Believe Beauty, and I must say there are some hits and there are some misses. I'm also going to, at the end of the video, I will talk to you about their older products and give you more of a review, because I will have my original full face of Believe Beauty when they first came out into stores down below, link down below, and that was more like first impressions. So I'm giving you my full review on those products that I have been obviously testing and trying out for a while. And then we do have some recently new launched products that is the first impressions that I will also be giving you my opinions on and swatches. There was some technical difficulties in this video, I'm not gonna lie, you'll see that later on. Whew, just know the universe tested me today, but I just kept pushing, kept filming, and here we are. Without further ado, let's get into it. All right, so we have so much to go through right now, so let's get started. So first, we're definitely gonna prime the face. All right, so of course, Believe Beauty has a couple different primers. I believe they have like a hydrating one, a color correcting one, and then a like smoothing one for your pores. So the one that I'm using today though is the Radiantly Primed Primer. And guys, this is such a beautiful primer. This is a little bit newer to their line. This is not one of the products that just recently launched, but this wasn't a original either when it first came out. And when I say that this primer just gives you like the most beautiful glow from within, it really does. It has a little bit of like gold reflex in it, but I mean, it gets covered up by the foundation, and then it's just like the glow that shows through. So I am not really too concerned, because it's not really glitter, it's more like a little bit of shimmer. Okay. But if you like glowy primers, you will love this one. Sorry guys, I recently just woke up. I woke up at 4:30. It's really early. I have my coffee here, so if my voice sounds grouncy, that's why. So for foundation, I have their Skin Finish Foundation in the shade Soft Beige. And guys, if you have not seen their foundation before, it is such beautiful packaging. It is in glass bottle. And look at this gold pump. Like, isn't this beautiful? Like, this does not look like something you would find at Dollar General for $5. And that's exactly how much this cost. I have this in two different shades. One's a little bit darker for summer, and then I have it in my winter shade. And this can be medium to buildable full coverage, but you can also make it light as well if you do not apply too much. So I feel like this is a great foundation for everyone, because you can really customize it to how you want it. I'm just gonna use my e.l.f. sponge to blend everything in. Believe Beauty does have tools to use, but I just am not a fan of their tools, sadly. I do not like their sponge a whole lot. It's just not my favorite. It's okay, it's just not my favorite. And I'm just not a fan of their brushes. I just don't like how their brushes feel. Guys, when I saw that they were launching more products, I was so excited. I don't have 100% of everything that they are coming out with. I just love how this makes my skin look. It just literally makes my skin look like skin, but like better, you know? When this foundation came out, it's all I like wore for so long. Like, I could not stop wearing it. So next, we're just gonna do a little bit of color correcting. I woke up super early and am super tired. So they have a corrector. It is in the shade Light Medium, and it is called the Brighten Up Color Correcting Concealer. This came out in their first original launch when they started, and I had this ever since, and it's not dried out or anything. And I just like to dab this under the eye, just like that. And you can see like the difference already. Like, look at that. Sometimes I wear this on its own. Sometimes I don't even wear a concealer on top, and it's not so orangey that you feel like you need to put another concealer on top. So for concealer, this is their You're Covered Liquid Concealer, and mine is in the shade Light Beige. Guys, I think I originally got rid of my first one because I did buy this concealer when they originally first came out, and when I went to go look for it, I couldn't find it. So I think I decluttered it, and I don't think I decluttered it because I don't like it. I think I decluttered it because I was just kind of in a little bit of a declutter mood, and I saw my concealers building up, and I was like, I think I should get rid of some. And so this one isn't a bad concealer that I can remember. I feel like it just wasn't like one of my top favorites, so that's why I didn't make it. The only thing I don't like, when you get your makeup in stores, they do have these like security stickers on it, which I hate. But I do remember these concealers being like super creamy. Right, and I'm just going to put this. I also think the other one that I got was a little bit too light for me as well, like, and I didn't really like it too much. Like, it just made me look super bright. And you know what else I'm also remembering? I think someone was asking me if I had concealer that I didn't want, that they needed it, and I gave it to them. And this one was, I think, the one that, again, wasn't my top favorite, so I was okay with passing it along to someone else who needed it. But it's so creamy and hydrating, and like 100% not a bad concealer. It's not really brightening because, like I said, I did get a shade a little bit like darker than what I did last time. So I don't know why I put it everywhere, but I did. All right, so concealer is blended. For the under eye, I'm just gonna use a e.l.f. powder, just because the powder that I have from Believe Beauty is a little bit too dark for my under eyes. This one is in the shade Light Medium. So I'm just gonna use this one for my under eyes and then use the other to set the rest of my face. For setting powders, I actually have two. So I do have the original that they originally came out with when they first launched, and this one is in the shade Light Medium, and it is their Believe Beauty Matte Blur Loose Powder. So this one is a matte one, and then they just recently came out with one that is a Radiant Glow Loose Setting Powder, and this one is in the shade Golden Pearl. And guys, if you look like up close, it almost looks like a loose highlighter. So I'm actually a little nervous, I'm not gonna lie. But we are gonna try this one, and then if this one doesn't work out, we will just use the other one on top. Hopefully it will save our makeup. Oh my god, guys, it took me like so long just to get the sticker off. I feel like it was like super glued to the packaging. They really don't want you testing anything in the stores. So this is what it looks like, and you can see, like, I don't know if you guys can tell, like the shimmer that is in it. So I'm gonna dump some in the lid, and you can definitely see, like, I don't know if you guys can tell, there is some like reflexes of like glitter, you know, in it. So if you don't like glitter at all in your setting spray, like just a little bit of shimmer or glitter, you're probably not gonna like this. I don't think it's gonna be like actual highlighter. Ooh, I don't know, guys. Like, that's the powder right there. I don't know. I really don't know if I'm gonna put this all over my face. I think what I'm gonna do is just use the original setting powder, and then I'm gonna use the new one on like my high points of my face, just so that way, oh my god, let me like get some of this product back in, because look how much is like, I'm just gonna dip my brush into here. Whew, that powder is going everywhere. And we're just gonna set our face. So now the face is set, I'm gonna go in with the setting powder, the glow one, because oh, it's making me nervous. And I'm actually using a highlighter brush, not even gonna lie, because I feel like this is gonna be very highlighty. So I'm just gonna use it to kind of set the high points of my face. just because I want to see exactly how it's gonna look like. Okay, so it's actually not very highlighty when you put it on and like blend it in. So I'm gonna put it right here. And at first it's like, whoa, but when you blend it in, it's not as intense as it actually looks like. So I'm just gonna use a powder brush and just kind of dip this like and put this everywhere, just so that way it kind of gives me that glow from within again, because that powder definitely does matte you out. Yeah, I feel like I don't look super shimmery, or like probably when the sun hits your face, you're probably gonna glow a little bit, but just by looking at it, it actually does not look as intense as I thought it was gonna be. So I'm happy about that, because I was very excited for this glow powder. My hair is a hot mess. I'm not liking it at all, but we'll fix it then. Okay. All right, so now that the face is set, I'm gonna quickly do eyebrows. So for brows, we are going to use the Believe Beauty Brow Defining Pencil in the shade Ash Brown. This one is okay. It's not like literally 100% my like top favorite when it comes to brow pencil. I do feel like it's a little bit like on the thicker side. And I do like them to be a little bit more like thinner, but it's not the worst. They're very creamy too, so you have to be like very careful and just be light-handed with it. And then I like to do little hair strokes in the front, which is where I find it to be a little thick. And then I'm just going to comb through it. I just feel like I can't get that super sharp brow that I like with this pencil. Then I'm going to use the Eyebrow Styling Gel. This one is in the shade Clear. They do have color as well. I just feel that these brow pencils are so intense that you don't need a colored brow gel. So I just use the clear one when I use their brow pencil, and just set everything down. And it kind of helps take away that powdery look too. All right, so next really we just have to finish up the complexion as well as the eyes and then lip. So for the complexion, we are gonna go in with their newer products. So they have recently came out with a new bronzer and as well as new blush duos. So this one is in the shade Toasted Bronze, and it is their Sunstruck Marbleized Bronzer. So if you guys remember the original bronzer that they first launched, literally went through the whole bronzer. It was in an empties video, and it was like literally my favorite bronzer. It was just like a satin finished baked bronzer, and it just made your skin look so good, so glowy, but not like shimmery or glittery. This one does look a little bit more on the shimmer side, so I'm not sure if I'm gonna like it just as much, but I was super excited to give it a try. And then this one here is in the shade Gallivanter, and it is a major monochrome matte and shimmer blush duo. You guys kind of know how I feel about these like blush toppers. I really don't like them a whole lot, but this shade looks super pretty. They have other shades as well, but this one was one that I was interested in. And then for highlight, this one here is the new highlight trio that they came out with, and I couldn't find it anywhere. I went to several Dollar General stores and I couldn't find that one. So I'm just gonna use one of their originals. This one is in the shade Champagne Kiss, and we are gonna use that one today. All right, so this is what it looks like. It's so pretty. And I'm just gonna swirl my brush in here. I don't know how pigmented this is. Ooh, this is pretty. This will be so pretty for like summer. The other bronzer that I love from them, I wore all year round. It definitely was a nice summer bronzer because it was on the warmer side, but even in the winter, I rocked that bronzer. This one is more of a bronzer that I probably would stick to with just like the spring and summer, just because it has a little bit, I feel like, of like a gold reflex in it. So it really just makes you look super glowy and tan. This one I wouldn't say is a satin finish. It is more on like the bronzy, glowy side So if you're into like a glowy bronzer, I think you would really like this. If you are more into like a matte or satin finish and not into any really shimmer in your bronzer, then I don't know how you would feel about this. It is super pretty and nice though. I feel like it's not the darkest though either. So this shade, I think this one was the darkest shade that they had at my Dollar General. I don't know if they have like a shade darker than this one. If they do, I would probably need to get that one for the summertime. This one would probably be more of like a bronzer topper for me, just because the pigment is there, but it's not as pigmented as I would want it to be to really bronze up my face. Although when I first tried their original bronzer, I felt the same way, where when I first dug into it, the pigment was not 100% there, but then as I was using it more and more, I guess I broke through the first layer and then it was fine. So this might be the same thing, where you just have to break through the first layer. Like I said, it shows up on my face, but it's just not as pigmented as I would want it to be, but it is very pretty. Okay, so it looks like we had a glitch with technology, which I honestly don't know what happened, because it showed that I was recording. It even had the timer. I was looking at how many minutes I was going on, and I saw like, and I was like, okay, you know, and then all of a sudden it like went off and then went back on, and then I'm like, okay, like did it stop recording? So I went to check how much footage it recorded, and the last clip that you saw prior to me looking like this was the last thing that it recorded when it was showing that it was recording. I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. It's just one of those types of filming days where kind of everything is just not going right and as planned, but we're not going to let it affect us. I will update you guys towards the end of the products that I used and how I felt about them. But right now I was just using the highlighter from, of course, Believe Beauty. It is the Radiant Finish Highlighter in Champagne Kiss. I cannot believe, guys, that that literally just happened. It's like, in a way, I just kind of want to like scrap this whole video and just redo it. I don't know. I don't have time to refilm this today anymore, and this video is going up today. For eyes, we are going to go into, actually, I feel like I'm gonna set my face right now, because my face I feel like I need to set it. So I'm gonna use the Rose Water Setting Spray from Mavin. I did have a setting spray from Believe Beauty, and I finished the whole thing up, and I didn't repurchase it because I already knew how I felt about it. And honestly, it was just an okay setting spray. There was nothing that was wrong with it at all. It also just wasn't a setting spray that wowed me enough where I felt like I needed to repurchase, or like it never became like my favorite. So that's why I didn't repurchase it. They did come out with another one. I think it's a matte one, if I'm not mistaken, but honestly none of my Dollar General stores had it, or I would have purchased that one because I wouldn't have tried that one, and that one is a new one. So yeah. So for eyeshadow, I'm super excited to jump into this eyeshadow palette. This is a newer one from them that they had out for a bit, but I don't think it originally came out with their first launch. But this one is in the shade Love Struck. Maybe it did, I don't know. I just never saw it in my stores when they first launched, but it just looks so freaking pretty. There's like a satin shadow here that is almost matte but has a little bit of a satin touch, as well as these shades here are on like the verge of being matte but a little bit of satiny. And then you do have like a nice like glowy eyeshadow here, a bit of a shimmer one here, and then a shimmer here as well. These eyeshadow palettes are so good. I have one in, I think it's called Nearly Nude. I love that one so much, and every time I go to declutter my eyeshadow palettes, I'm like, maybe I should pass this one on. And then I'm like, I swatch them and play with the colors. It was just so long that I played with it, and then it reminded me of how good they were, and I was like, absolutely not. I'm not getting rid of this palette. So freaking beautiful, guys. Look at that. Oh my god. All right, so the first shade I'm going to go into actually is this shade right here, which is like a nice like orange shade. And I'm just going to put this in my crease as my transition. So I'm going to put it in my crease, and then I'm just going to blend it up towards the brow, but not touching the brow, of course. And it literally goes on like a dream. The pigment is there. It blends so good. Right, next, I'm going to go into the shade right here. They don't have shade names. And I'm just gonna do like a cute mauve pink kind of look today. I am just ready for spring. I'm ready for these colors. And I'm kind of just gonna do like a half moon crease kind of thing. I'm not bringing it out like a cat eye. I'm just sticking to my natural curve of my eyelid and blending. Just adding a little bit more to the outer crease and then blending towards the inner like that. Then we're gonna go into the shade right here, and we are just gonna put that all over the lid. I'm just gonna use my finger. It's not as popping as I would want it to be, so I'm just gonna go in and use a flat brush, and I'm just going to dig my brush into it, get wet. Okay, so I guess that's all we're gonna get from it, really. It's not as like shiny as I would want it to be, so we might use this middle shade here to kind of top it off. This shade right here that looks super pretty on the finger, and I'm just gonna put that right in the middle and just kind of blend it. I'm gonna use the shade right here, which is that nice like shimmer that in the inner corner. There is some fallout with this palette, so you might want to do your eyes first, because I am having a little bit of difficulty with the fallout. And as I'm trying to like wipe away the fallout, I feel like my makeup underneath is like getting disturbed a little bit, as well as there's a lot of shimmer now on my like under this area here, and that's just because of the shimmery eyeshadow I just put on top. And then I'm just gonna take the shade right here and just put that on my lower lash. All right, so for eyeliner, I'm gonna use the Believe Beauty Long Lasting Eyeliner in Mystic. So I'm just gonna put this on my lower lash line. This liner is actually super creamy. I don't know how long it's gonna last, but it is super creamy and super pigmented. So far, first impressions of that liner, because I've never used their liners before, I really like it. They did come out with a new mascara. This is their Believe Beauty Volumize waterproof mascara, and this is what it looks like. So we are gonna see how this one performs. I tried 2 of their mascaras so far. The first one was like a thicker purple packaging. I didn't like that one. This one here is in their Extended Lash Lengthening Mascara. This one's okay. If you have good lashes on the top, I think you would really like this. I really like it for my bottom lashes. For my top, I don't feel like it does enough, but I don't have the best top eyelashes either. So I think if you already have a nice set of eyelashes, you would probably really enjoy that one. So let's see what this one has to show. Definitely already looks like a drier formula. Yeah, I don't know. Like, I feel like it's so dry, like it's almost as if the mascara's dried out. That's how it feels like, you know, when you're using a mascara and it's like starting to dry out on you. It's not really my favorite. I would probably say I have to pass on it. When makeup companies say, you know, our lash formula is so good, it's so bomb, who are you trying it on? Like, get someone with crappy lashes and then try your mascara, because not everyone has like good lashes. And so when people with crappy lashes try out your amazing formula, it does nothing. Like I have to build this up a lot. It's just not my favorite, to be honest. I'm gonna put on my other one just to see if I can maybe work off of that one. Something I kind of skipped out on and kind of forgot, and it's because I don't include this in my routine all the time, so I'm not used to grabbing for it. This is the Lock It In Eyeshadow Primer, and this one does have a tint to it. This one's in Universal. They do have like a complete, I think, clear one or maybe a white one. I'm not sure what it is. This one does have like a concealer shade in a way. And it's a really nice eyeshadow primer if you are looking for a affordable eyeshadow primer. I forgot to use it, so I do apologize. I definitely should have, because it probably would have helped prevent some of the fallout. So that's my fault, but definitely wanted to give it a mention. So now we're gonna finish off this look, and I will give you guys my final thoughts. But we are gonna use the Believe Beauty Long Lasting Lip Liner in Barely There. Okay, that one's like, it went on pretty creamy. It's not super creamy, but that's good because, you know, usually they will like fade very quickly if they are. So but it's not drying at all, and the color is like really pretty. It's like my lip color, but a little bit like pinkier. So that's pretty. And then this is something that I was super excited for. This one is in the shade Mischief, and it is their Velvet Matte Liquid Lipstick. I think the only matte liquid lipstick I tried from them is their like a red one that they had. So I'm excited to try this one because I thought it would go cute with the look. I feel like this is not the shade at all. It's definitely lighter, but not as light as it was. Like I thought it was going to be much lighter. Like this is like a pinky mauve color through here, and then this is like a almost deeper purple, but like I said, in person it's definitely not, it works. It definitely works with the eye look. I'm not going to say it doesn't, but it's just not exactly what I was going for. We can just say that the universe tested me in this video. It tested me. It really did. Okay, so let's just go ahead and give you my final thoughts on the new products, as well as talk about the new products, because that was like the most important part of this video, and of course it just decided not to record. So the first thing that we used was the Believe Beauty Radiantly Primed Primer. This was not first impressions because this did not just recently launched. It is a newer primer to their line though, but it's such a beautiful primer. It literally gives you that glow from within type of look. It does have a little bit of shimmer in it, but it's not enough shimmer to like not make me want to use it. It's freaking beautiful, and it is something that I would definitely wear on its own as well. So I love this primer. Foundation, 100%. From the very first day they launched, I love this foundation. It's literally amazing. If you're looking for a foundation that's going to just like cover up what it needs to, but also leave your skin looking like skin, this is a great affordable option, and it's just so chic and high-end looking. You can't go wrong. I talk about this under eye corrector a whole lot. It's one of their original launch products, and it is like I said, it's the Brighten Up under eye corrector. They have it, I think, in 2 different shades. And again, it's amazing. I have like already a good dip in the middle from using it, and I love it. So definitely recommend this. Their concealer, this actually looks a little bit lighter than what it did when it applied, same as the liquid lip, but it still worked. It didn't make my under eye look super dark. But anyways, formula wise, it's so good. I do remember liking this concealer. It's not like my top, you know, I only repurchased it for this video to do a full face, but honestly it's not one that if I would finish up, I would go ahead and run out and buy another one. So I wouldn't say it's like my top in my top category, but it is a nice, good, creamy concealer. I wouldn't say it's full coverage. I would say it's more like light medium to medium buildable coverage, but it's super creamy, and I really do like it. It makes your under eyes look pretty good. So yeah. I already did mention this eyeshadow primer, but I'm just gonna quickly say it again. It's a really good eyeshadow primer. I really do like it. So if you're looking for one, definitely get it. To set my face, this again is not, I didn't use this in my first video, but then I went ahead and went out and did buy it because I did want to try it and use it. And honestly, it's not my favorite. I only reached for it a couple of times. And even in this video, I just realized how cakey it made my skin look, especially around my nose. And it's also a super matte powder. I do not like a super matte powder anymore. If I am going for a matte look, there are other powders that I would rather get over this one. So I'm actually going to declutter this because this video really showed me how much I really don't like this powder. So I personally don't recommend it, but if you like a super matte like look, then you will like this powder. Their new setting powder, I have mixed feelings about it. I feel like when I put it on my face, it kind of like, it looked nice. My face looked a little glowy. It didn't look too shimmery or too like glittery, although there is shimmer and glitter in here. If you don't like that in your setting powders, you're not gonna like this. But honestly, I don't think I would put it on my face again. It's just not the same as like my Jaclyn Hill powder or my e.l.f. powders where it just gives you that glow from within type of look. This is just a little bit too metallic glowy on my skin, I guess you can say. So this is something that is so beautiful. I think if you would just take a nice fluffy brush and put it on your shoulders or your legs in the summertime, that is probably how I'm going to use this powder and just use it up. But it's not a powder that I would run out and buy again or put it on my face. I just think it emphasizes too much texture, pores, and it just doesn't look cute. So I like it, but not in the way that it was made for. This highlighter is one that I did use in my first video as well, and honestly, I don't reach for it a whole lot. It's just not one of my favorite highlighters, and even applying it today, I'm like, I just don't like how it looks, how it sets on the face. So I personally wouldn't recommend this highlighter. I love Believe Beauty. I love a lot of their products, but this product is just not one that I recommend either. And so yeah, I was excited to try their newer one, their trio, just because I thought maybe it would be a different formula. It looked gorgeous, but I can't find it. I would want to try that one, but this one's just like a no-go for me. So I'm going to declutter this one as well. And this one is actually, when I first applied it, it was definitely like a little bit on the light side, even though this one was the darkest one they had in stores. And it just was more on the light side. So this one I would use more as like a bronzer topper, unless I can find a deeper shade, which if I need to find a deeper shade, I just don't see anyone who is deeper skin tone than me finding their shade in these bronzers. But it is it's a nice bronzer. It's not too glittery, but it is shimmery. So that's what I'm saying. It would be nice as a bronzer topper. I would wear it alone as well, but I would need a little bit more pigment out of this. This is what it looks like. You can see how it has that like gold reflex in it. So that's what I'm saying. It would be beautiful as like a bronzer like topper. But once you blend it into the skin, it's very, very light. So my skin itself, I feel like doesn't look super bronzed or like warmed up. Their original bronzers are amazing. I love those bronzers so much. I do want to repurchase that bronzer one day, but I'm trying to go through my other bronzers because I love that one so much that I feel like if I repurchase that one, I'm not going to use my other ones. So this is the Believe Beauty Major Monochrome Matte and Shimmer Blush Duo. This one is in Gallivanter. I typically don't buy these types of products because I do not like these blush toppers. I really only bought this for this video, to be honest, but I do really like this blush. So I just don't like how I have to really try to work my brush into it and not pick up this. That's the only thing I don't like about these types of setups. But the actual blush, the matte blush itself, is freaking gorgeous. If you are into blush toppers, or maybe if you want to use this as like an eyeshadow, which is probably what I would do, it's really, really nice. I feel like for quick makeup looks, you can use this as a blush. Also put this like in your crease or your eyelid, and then put this like up on top. I feel like that's a good way to get use out of it as well. It's nice. I don't think I would go out and repurchase it, but it is nice. Their cream blushes, they're not they're not new as in like just recently launched, but they are newer to their line as well. They do have two different shades. This one is in the shade Doll Face, and they do have like a more coral orange bright shade as well that looks freaking beautiful. I do have the cream blush on top of the powder blush, just because I wanted to add some hydration and glow back to my skin. And it worked beautiful on top of powder, and it sets down to like a powder finish as well, but it still gives you like a bit of a glow. So I really love these blushes and 100% recommend these. Lip liner was good. It's not too creamy, but it's not too drying either. It's basically right in the middle and pretty perfect. The liquid lip looks way darker. I feel like, okay, so this looks a little bit darker on camera as well, but in person it's definitely more lighter than what it looks like on camera. So, but just so you can get a feel of how my lips look like in person, my lips look like how this looks like on camera. But in person, this looks lighter than what it looks like on camera, if that makes sense. But as you can see how this looks different, like this looks darker. So in person, my lips are still darker than what the actual liquid lip looks like. But on camera, my lips are not this, I mean, in person, my lips are not this dark. They're more like this shade that you can see on camera. But in person, it's like a darker pink. I don't know. It's weird. But anyways, yeah, so I do like how the lip looks. I just wanted something a little bit more lighter. So I do like it. I like the formula. This one is a velvet, so it's still gonna transfer. Feels very comfortable. And yeah, it's okay. Eyeshadow palette, I 100% love and like. This one was not as metallic-y as I thought it was going to be on the lid, but once I put this on top, I feel like it did amp it up a bit. These shades here blended like a freaking dream. So I really do like this eyeshadow palette, and I'm glad that I did purchase it. And I actually do recommend it to you guys. Brow pencils. So this one I will use up. I don't hate it enough not to like ever use it again or declutter it, but I also don't like it enough to repurchase it. It's just a little bit too thick. You have to be very light-handed with it. I feel like it's almost like a pomade in a pencil form, like pencil format, where if you put too much pressure, it's just gonna give you that like heavy pomade look, if you know what I mean. So you have to be very light-handed with this, and you can't get a super defined look just because the tip is pretty thick, but it does come with a spoolie. So it is a nice pencil, but it's not one that I would repurchase. Same thing with their eyebrow styling gels. I have it in the shade clear, as well as I think in dark brown. They're okay. The color one is a little bit is pigmented as well, so I wouldn't, you have to be light-handed with that as well, because you can get too heavy-handed with that. Both of them are okay, but again, they're not brow gels that I would go ahead and repurchase. First time I used their pencils for their waterline, and they were pretty creamy. It didn't fade yet. Really creamy, applied like a dream. This one's in the shade Mystic, so definitely recommend that so far. Right, and then last but not least, their mascaras. I don't see anything wow about their mascaras. I really don't. I haven't used a mascara yet from them that I'm like, oh, this is amazing. This is probably the darkest one that I've applied, like pigment wise, when it comes to my eyes being black, like my eyelashes. So if you're looking for like a really good black mascara, this one is a nice one, and I actually think I will use this to like blend my lashes in with my false lashes, because I usually have a hard time finding a mascara that's dark enough that's gonna blend my natural lashes with my false lashes, because usually even with mascara you can still tell a little bit of a difference. So this one's good for that, but to wear it on its own, I would need to be like looking for a natural lash day, like that no makeup look type of day, because to wear this with like a eye that I'm wearing it with right now, it's just like, where's my lashes, you know? So it's okay. This one I have used quite a few times. It's like almost going to be decluttered just because of how old it's getting. But this one's okay. I like to use it for my lower lashes. If you have long lashes already, you'll probably really like it for your upper lashes. But like I said, for my upper lashes, I need something like the Sky High Superhero Mascara from It Cosmetics. Like those mascaras do a lot for my lashes. Huda Beauty, but these, not so much. All right guys, that is everything. Thank you so much for sticking through this video, watching the full face of Believe Beauty. This video definitely was a challenge. Powder spilled all over the place. My makeup looks super heavy and cakey. It did not come out the way I planned it to be. Like, I was super excited to film this video, and I feel like I literally need to wash this face and kind of start all over again and just use powders that I really do like and enjoy. I just am not a fan of how my makeup turned out, and I have to go to work later, so I'm probably gonna redo my face or just wash my face and have a fresh face today. I don't know, but yeah. And then camera stopped recording. Makeup didn't really turn out the way I wanted it to, and I didn't love the products, the new products, the way I thought I was going to, so that was a little bit of a bummer. So it's okay. Hope you guys have a great day. Until next time, bye.